This here is my trike. I just got finished putting this together. It used to be, as you can tell, Baja doodlebug, but it has bigger than your standard 6.8 inch tires. It's I believe they're 10-inch. But the rear tire had gone bad. It was going bad. The bearings kept riding it. No suspension, just eventually really shot the bearings. The bearings fell right out of it. So as you can tell, I got a Predator 212 on there. At the moment I can't drive it, otherwise I'd give you a test run. That's the rear end that's on here. It's from an old Sears Craftsman that I had sitting down in my parents' house. I was gonna fix that up, but the motor wound up setting up on me, so I pulled the rear end, put it underneath this. So I spent $80 for a new back tire. Now this clutch that's on here is 435 chain. That sprocket that's there, the chain is much bigger. I have to figure out exactly what size the chain is. You get a new chain for it. Now what I did to put the rear end underneath here, very simple. I took 5/8 threaded rod and I drilled through the brackets. These are the brackets that were originally on the rear end that were on the tractor. I drilled through these brackets. I bored the holes out here where the tire used to set to make it big enough for the rod. And I put it through, obviously, as you can tell. Now these washers here, or nuts, excuse me, are on the inside to tighten to keep this from shifting. Now this is just bent up aluminum, because what happened was the frame was a little twisted and my holes were a little crooked, you know. So when I put this through, this rod had to be sitting right flat against the frame. And while this one here had a gap, so I filled that gap, tightened it down. The sprocket's all straight now. Danny's here trying to tell you about the bike as well. But the sprocket, it was sitting kind of crooked. I mean, it was aiming right for the oil plug. So it definitely would have popped the chain off. So what I did, obviously, is I made my own little shim. Now, as you can tell, it's solid. I mean, there's no brakes. I have to figure out the brakes on it. But get a new throttle cable for it, because that's solid. It frayed inside somewheres and stuck on me. So, well, I mean, this here is just, I might be taking that off. That's just temporary aluminum, trying to keep the mud from spitting up in my face. But I'm not even going to put a new clutch on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a new torque converter to put onto it, because these are 18-inch wheels, 8-inch rim, 18 inches with the tire. Just, it's going to take too much out of the motor. I mean, I can't even hardly climb the hill over there up in the woods, you know. So actually I can't. That's with your normal tire. So I'm gonna put the torque converter on it so I can actually move this thing. And that's about it. Hope you enjoyed.